Hello and welcome to Stampscaping 101. This isn't really an instructional video, but I haven't been doing videos for a few weeks now, and wanted to show you guys what I've been up to. I've been busy working on designs, and when the spirit hits, it's just better to get right into it and not really stop. And these were kind of some of the first designs I've been drawing for a future batch. This one I started quite some time ago, and I don't know, I just got busy working on something else, and it's a rock wall, of course. And when I work on designs, I never know how long each design is going to take, and this one in particular, because I hadn't been drawing for a while, took me forever. Still tweaking it and working around it, but just getting back into the flow of drawing things like volumes and textures, and kind of figuring out the balance between kind of solids and I don't know, light areas in terms of how it's going to apply to rubber stamps. Is always kind of a something I have to kind of reacclimate myself to anytime I'm working on designs. But worked on this design, reworked it, trying to get every rock down just right, adding in some shadows to make it look like there's a lot of volume and shade in the piece, and removing some of that shade, where it got too dark, and trying to figure out how to end the design on the edges is always the key, so that they blend in with their sibling designs is always the question whenever I'm working on a new design. So, and also scale, which isn't too much of a factor because I can always reduce and enlarge these when it comes to having them made into plates, but getting on the right course and still tweaking it, with my trusty technical pens, if I want to make some additional shading and texture within the piece, and kind of understanding how these line art designs apply to a rubber stamp mold, and eventually, when people are going to be pressing down on them, how much kind of texture to put in there to balance off the dots. If there's too many dots that are kind of isolated and without any dots around them, when we're pressing down on rubber, those dots can end up really fat, so you can do a tiny little dot. But when it comes to a rubber stamp design, when there's this little tiny bit of rubber, if they're, like I said, if it's an isolated one, people are going to be pressing on it, and it could end up, a tiny dot like that, could end up, looking about that size, and that big dot isn't going to blend in very well with their sibling images, or at least as well as they could. Kind of more rounded rocks, kind of like I don't know, this will probably be done in a left and right, kind of like out in the field or something like that. Ireland or something, or wherever, I don't know, stone walls kind of might be found, and this one is kind of another stone wall, kind of another sibling image, but you notice they're kind of more blockier, kind of to go along like a road. You can kind of imagine a road going through here, so I don't know. I don't have the road here on this one, but I do have a dirt road drawn, and there'll probably be a left and right side to this one as well. So anyways, something kind of a long time in the making. Here's a couple other designs. Kayakers. People have been asking me to work on those for, I don't know, like 20 years or something like that. So finally getting around to it, and a couple different angles right here, and I think I want to draw another one where kind of it's more of a straight-on view instead of a three-quarter or side view. And you can see the size of these, smaller, I don't know, smaller the better in some cases, because they're more universal. You can fit them into more scenes, and I like to have them kind of a little bit more generic. Kind of a bony tree here. This one's very large. It's coming from, this is like a 8.5 inch panel right here. Maybe it's 8. No, I think it's longer. This one's probably a 10-inch board right here. But so this tree right here is probably going to be, I don't know, maybe about that size right there in, you know, the eventual rubber stamp form, and maybe an even smaller one. So we have a lot of trees that are always full, you know, when we're thinking about things like evergreen trees and whatnot. And, you know, adding in kind of the dead wood brings in a lot more texture, and I think not realism, but kind of a, I don't know, a replication of nature a bit more when you have something like this to add into a scene. So kind of a more, I have leafless limbs that's already in the line, but something like this I think is something that I've really needed. And I don't know, I can imagine like a moon in the background or something like that with these trees, you know, maybe 3 impressions of it in the foreground or whatnot would look pretty dramatic, especially if you have like some softer clouds, having something nice and craggy and you know, spindly. And this is another stamp that I started a long time ago, and sometimes it's good to have things sitting around for a while, because then I can look at it with fresh eyes when I get around to kind of finishing it off. And I added in a lot more texture in here. It was a lot more open before, and just kind of oscillating the solids and kind of more gray scale areas within here. So like I said, it was a lot more, I don't know, just bare within there. And I don't know, these are some lilies right here. I'm still kind of tweaking that design. This is just the real beginning stages of it here. And by the way, in my rapidograph video, you saw the beginning stages of this one. I don't know, it was like 20% into it or something like that, or 10%. The layout was done, but this is much more complete now. But this is kind of how a design starts off, just really super basic. And I don't know, I'll have to see if I can get it to where when I finish this one off, I really want this design to be able to be used in multiple impressions where they blend in with one another. Okay, now sometimes in lily pads, when you see things like photographs with them, they're green, but the water around it is oftentimes darker than the pad, you know. So the challenge of this one is to make it dark in the background, but when we stamp it out, we want to have these big, solid, massy shapes everywhere. It would look kind of funny. So getting this to blend in with its surrounding area and with their multiple impressions is going to be a challenge. So we'll see if this one even comes out. You know, sometimes I work on a design and I might work it and rework it and rework it, and it doesn't see the light of day because I'm not satisfied with how it you know, how I think it's going to perform in terms of the blending and seamless aspect of it. So anyways, I think I have these stone walls pretty much worked out. You know, they'll be kind of what I call lead-ins. You know, you'll have these going off the page, leading into the scene, you know, the viewer's eye. These aren't necessarily a pair right here, like I said, but I'll have to figure out what sizes to do them in. And they'll probably, I don't know if it would be good to have them in 2 different sizes, because, you know, the way I see it, if I can get it in one perfect size where people can just use, you know, a portion of it, you know, kind of leading into their, you know, for the most part, a card size scene, you know. So this one right here is too big, but probably about an 80% will be appropriate for that. So you can have it on a card like this. You can imagine this thing coming into it, you know, and having the paired sides, you know, so you can really have a dramatic lead-in presence right here into some sort of composition. This one could be a road, and this one could be, you know, you can just have one wall coming in here, and this could be like a grassy hillside or something like that. You know, trees in the, you know, the background or whatnot. So anyways, and I don't know, when I'm working these things, I'm always trying to conserving my hard, you know, panel pieces. So I mean, these, you know, scenes aren't like a system right here where these water scenes go with these ones right here. I just happen to fill in right there. So anyways, what is it, 2, 4, 5 scenes right here with a possible 6th, and These are some of the first 6 of a future batch. I don't know the release date of these, and I'll probably, you know, just keep working until I get tired of it and have some new designs out before too long. Okay? Anyways, hope you like these future kind of, you know, semi-done scenes right here, designs, and we'll announce on the website sometime when they're going to be available. I'll also do some scans of it sometime in the future, of photographs, and post them on the Flickr gallery. Okay? Thanks for watching.